So I'm having a chat with CUSP. How are you guys?
Very good, how are you?
Good, not too bad. You're here at Truck Festival. How's your festival experience been so far?
It's been muddy. Adams has been a bit longer.
Yeah, I've been here. I came yesterday. The proper muck bath started then, so
Yep.
it's got a little bit better today. But also we're playing as well, so it's going to get even better.
Yeah, good. You guys have been busy recently because you've released your second EP. For those who haven't heard it yet, tell us a little bit about the release.
Yeah, so we're releasing 4 EPs this year called
Okay.
Songs Volume 1 to 4. Yeah, we've released a couple so far, but yeah, we kind of, the songs have been across like 3 or 4 years, so it kind of tells the story of that across the 20 songs.
Yeah, good. And how do all 4 of those EPs contrast to one another?
Wow. I think they naturally do kind of, because of the time, they goes from like kind of big upbeat songs to more ballady stuff. But
Okay.
what do you reckon, Ed?
Well, I think probably because of the ways they've been made as well. Like the earlier stuff we did in a slightly different way to what we're like working on now for the third EP. So like they're going to sound slightly different, but the same like songwriting and songs are going to be there.
Yeah. And what was the reason behind putting them out as 4 EPs rather than one album, I guess?
Well, I think bands are always frightened of putting out a debut album, and we felt that we wanted to get the music out and build up a fan base organically, which these are kind of started to do. The 4 as well, we just want to be consistent and get music out, like, you know, without leaving it 6 months between each single.
And the people we know as well, they want songs. Like all our friends, like everyone like that, they want more songs. Like they don't want less, obviously. So we've got to give it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when it comes to writing for you guys, how do tracks tend to start off? Is it a lyric, a riff, a melody? How do they work?
Well, I write all the time, so it's kind of both and neither in terms of lyrics and melody. It kind of always happening, but I think where we've got to now is kind of more of it's probably the best case of a process where I kind of have a finished song, bring it to the band, and we'll work out parts and arrangements, and we're trying now to get things right in a room before we hit record, whereas I guess the earlier stuff on these EPs were more formed in the studio because of COVID and those times, but yeah, it varies. We write a lot of songs as well, even though we've got 20 out on this EP and there's more to come after. There's, you know, dozens or even hundreds that haven't come out. It's kind of a constant thing.
So, going forward then, when you go to record more music in the future, do you think you'll continue it in the same fashion, or do you think you'll revert back to how you did it with the first?
We're loving it like this at the moment. I don't know if it'll go back, but all these things are cyclical, aren't they? Like we fall in love with things, not so much, and then you just keep going round and round. But at the moment, like this is the best case for us, really.
Yeah.
And you guys have been doing some touring and some live stuff. How's it been for you this year? 'Cause it's been fairly busy.
Yeah, it's been really good. We've been that's a big part of what we want to do as well, and why we didn't put music out sooner was that we felt it's important, rather than focusing on social media content, to actually get in front of people. So the show's been great. We've supported some good bands, and the crowds have kind of begun to learn words and stuff. It's been a good thing.
And people will want to still see you live as well. What's your plan for the rest of this year and touring and live stuff?
So we've got a few shows with DMAs in the next week, and then supporting the Sherlocks. We've got like London, Brighton, a few other supports, and hopefully a few headlines at the end of the year as well.
Good. Are you hoping to take it overseas as well, into Europe and maybe the States?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, cost-wise, we're focusing on these shores at the moment, but yeah.
We won't mention the reasons why.
No. But no, we've already talked. We talked quite early that we want to get to Europe pretty soon, rather than waiting. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good. And as you guys are fairly new to the music industry, I'd like to find out how you guys got together, made you release this sort of music in the first place.
Well, I think me and Dan had mutual friends, and he knew that I played bass, and he reached out to me on Instagram, as you do. That's the modern love story.
Slid into his DM.
Yeah, exactly. And then he said, "Do you want to come along?" And then the crazy thing was that me and the drummer Jack, we used to work at a
Top man.
Yeah, I was going to say a retailer's not open anymore. Yeah, we used to work there when I was like 16, he was 21, and I remember we would talk about music and stuff, but then we sort of parted ways, and then 4 or 5 years later I turn up at this rehearsal, and I was like, oh bloody hell, that's Jack, like someone that I'd known for a long time. So
Yeah, and me and Jack have played together for like 8 years now, maybe. So even though we're new publicly,
Yeah.
we've been around the block in different bands and stuff. So this ain't our first rodeo.
How were the other bands? Any I would have heard of?
Jack was in a band called Wildest, who did a lot of, like, he's played all around the world, and I was solo. Yeah, went nowhere, but
This is it now.
Yeah.
This is the one.
yeah.
It's got to be. And you must have some aspirations of things you want to achieve as a band. What's one thing that you have to do as a band?
Oh, everything. I don't really.
that's the one thing. All of it.
Yeah, there's not really. I don't know about ads, but I don't really have specific things like that. I think for me, I just want to write as good songs as possible, and I think if the band's great, then naturally things will happen and we'll tick things off. But even, to be honest, everything and nothing, because I'm equally, playing shows when there's 20 or 30 people there, or 100 or whatever it is. Like, that's what it's about. I don't really want anything more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Cheers, Jim.
And you've got a little bit of blue on your jacket. I'm not sure if you noticed.
This was a design fault, so
He's bleached.
I think so.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.